No contact versus radio silence. What is the purpose of each and every one of them? What is the typical duration? And most importantly, what are the benefits of applying them? Also, what will be the best course of action for you? Because when you are going through a breakup, you are being introduced to a whole new vocabulary and breakup terminology, which have words like no contact and radio silence, and you need to get very familiar with them. And it can be super confusing because many people say many different things and there is a lot of opinions and you're not sure what to do because you don't know what each one of those things can actually do for you. So in this video, I'm going to simplify and demystify radio silence and no contact so you can understand exactly what you need to do, will be the best course of action for you, what are the benefits, the purposes, and like I said, the typical duration on each one of them. I am Coach Goldman, your relationship and breakup coach. Let's start with the definitions of no contact and radio silence so you can understand. No contact is primarily focused on personal healing, gaining clarity, and moving on from the relationship. It's more about self-care and recovery. Radio silence, on the other hand, is often used strategically to create curiosity, regain control, and potential rekindle the relationship. It can involve more psychological maneuvering and less emphasis on personal healing. Both methods involve ceasing communication, but their intents and benefits differ significantly. Understanding these differences can and will help you choosing the right approach based on your goal and emotional needs after a breakup. And before we dive in deeper into today's lesson, I want to say something because I want you to understand that you're going to use no contact or radio silence as a method, strategy, whatever you want to call it, for you to get you back. Everything that you're doing will be for you, not for your ex, not to get them back. You need to get yourself back. The no contact or radio silence, it's time for you to reflect. It's time for you to go within. It's time for you to do the work inside of you to change because this relationship ended for a reason. And you must understand why it ended, what you could have done better, how you can change to be better for next time. If your ex come back, she or he see completely different person. And if they're not, you will be so much better off and your next relationship will be amazing because if you don't do the work, you will perpetuate and take this behavior into the next relationship. And I assume that this is not what you want. This is why you're watching these videos, to gain understanding and to gain knowledge and to change. So if you need help with this, check the link in the description below. Check out the Rise of the Phoenix online healing coaching program that I have created especially for you to do this work. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, also the link in the description below, feel free and I got you. Without any further ado, let's dive in. The purpose of no contact, healing and self-growth, allows time to heal emotionally and focus on personal growth. Clarity provides space to gain perspective on the relationship and understand individual needs. Emotional break helps in breaking the emotional dependency and habitual communication patterns developed during the relationship. Now we're going to move on to the purpose of radio silence. Is creating curiosity, aims to make the other person wonder about you and miss your presence. Regaining control, often used to shift the balance of power in the relationship dynamic. Provoking reaction, designed to elicit a response or provoke feelings in the other person. Because when you're going no contact, when you're going radio silence, what you're basically doing is you're cutting off all communications. You're blocking your ex on everything. You make them wonder about you. You make them just second guess their decision. When you're going no contact, what you're basically doing is you're just not contacting them. That's all. You're not contacting them. But radio silence, it's harsh. It's much more difficult for them to accept, And emotionally, it can be also much more difficult for you because you are just completely disappearing from the face of the earth. And this is not an easy thing to do once you establish an attachment, an emotional connection with someone. So both of them will take an emotional toll on you. Radio silence probably a little bit more, because I see you guys when I talk to you about your situation and I tell you go radio silence, you're having a hard time. And I can understand it's not easy. This is why sometimes no contact is best for you. Sometimes radio silence is best for you. This is why we have one-on-one calls, for me to understand your unique situation, and then I can tell you exactly what you need to do. But in today's video, I want to give you kind of like general advice, and you can draw your own conclusions. No contact typical duration is commonly ranged between 30 to 90 days or more, depending on the individual's emotional state and the intensity of the relationship. Also, I want you to understand that I made a lot of videos about this, so feel free to watch them, because it can really help you understand the duration, what it depends on, and you're going to gain a much better understanding. In today's video, I don't want to go deep into this because I want to keep this video specific and short and sweet. Radio silence, the duration is flexible and might be adjusted based on the reaction of the other person. It can range from few days to several weeks or months. So you got to take this also into consideration. Benefits of no contact: emotional recovery, provides time for healing and dealing with the grief of the breakup. Personal growth, encourage self-reflection and improvement. Independence, that's a big one, helps in regaining sense of autonomy and rebuilding one's life without the ex. Boundary setting, establishes healthy boundaries, particularly important after a toxic or abusive relationship. Number 5 is reducing conflict, minimize the chance of further arguments or misunderstandings during an emotional charged period. Benefits of radio silence: rekindling interest, can make the other person curious and interested, possibly leading to reconciliation. And it probably will lead into reconciliation, because when someone breaks up with you and you completely disappear from the face of the earth, it got to make them wonder. And you know what happens when you do that, when you go radio silence? It makes them think. They go like this. They say to themselves, this person was obsessed with me, or adored me, or really loved me, was all over me. Now they blocked me? It's a shock to the system. It's a very big shock to the system. It's not easy for them to digest. This is why I think radio silence, it's better. It's better, but like I said, I don't want you to do this just for you to get your ex back. I want you to do this to get you back, because there is no contact, radio silence, and moving on. When you move on, you don't even care. When you move on, you do radio silence and no contact. It's just, you do everything. You say, I don't really care, I'm moving on. Which I think it's the best thing, but again, it depends on so many things. It's the best. For me, it was the best thing because my ex cheated on me. So maybe this is why I'm saying it's the best thing. But it really depends on the case. It's the best thing. After cheating, move on completely. Monkey branching, it's even worse than cheating. Monkey branching is when your ex actually lined up a guy or a girl, someone, and they move on with this person. They monkey branch to the other person, leaving you for them. You need to move on completely. Don't even try to go no contact or radio silence, because they moved on, you got to move on. And yeah, and what other cases there might be? So cheating, or if there is a regular breakup, for example, if there is a regular breakup where you just argued a lot, or there was a lot of miscommunications and misunderstandings, maybe no contact is better. Don't block, because sometimes when you block, it can backfire. When you go radio silence, it can backfire. So if the relationship ended softly, no contact will be the best move. Probably the best move. If the relationship ended abruptly and your ex was very harsh on you and just was very, very cold, I would say radio silence, because you need to shock them as much as they shocked you in order for you to try to see if they still care. Again, I'm giving you just some scenarios for you to consider and think about. And I'm going to say it again, if you need help with this and understand your unique situation, you know what to do. The link in the description below, talk to me. I'm going to help you figure this one out. The next benefit, number 2, psychological impact. The absence can highlight the value of your presence, making the ex reconsider their feelings. Number 3, emotional space. Provide both parties with space to think about the relationship and their feelings. Number 4, control over communication. This is my favorite on radio silence, control over the communication, because it allows you to control when and how communication is resumed, potentially on more favorable terms. When you go radio silence, the ball is in your court. Your ex cannot reach out to you. You can open the line of communication when you want to. The only thing that your ex can do is show up at your doorstep. That's it. It happened to me, and let me tell you, first of all, it's very gratifying to see someone that hurt you or betrayed you knock on your door and beg to come back after they said, my texts don't go through, the emails are bouncing, what happened? It's really gratifying. I won't lie. It's the best feeling. But this is where I really want you to consider why you're doing this. Because you have vindictive intentions, or you're doing it to regain yourself. And I'm telling you these things because I had vindictive intentions. And I've done this because I want them to regret. I've done many things to make them regret. And I don't really think it's healthy. This is why I want you to learn from my mistakes. Because once you make this kind of mistakes, after this, you feel a little bit petty. But again, it's really dependent on your situation. For me, when I did it and they came back, it was extremely gratifying. After they came back, I said, you know what, I really didn't care. So it was a combination of this, it was a combination of radio silence and moving on, a little bit of both. But knowing what I know now, moving on, it's just so much better. You just move on, you say, I'm just moving on. That's it, I'm just moving on. After cheating, I'm just moving on. And I went radio silence after cheating. So I'm telling you this because maybe this is your situation and you can relate to what I'm saying and you can take a similar course of action. So I'm just giving you the information. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with this. Number 5, last but not least, is self-reflection. It gives both individuals time to reflect on the relationship without the influence of ongoing interactions. Yeah, so these are the differences between no contact, radio silence, and I add one more thing and moving on. Cheating, you guys moving on. Radio silence, when the relationship ended abruptly and you still think that there is a way to save it. And by the way, one of the things that I didn't mention, if you want to rekindle things, only in case that your ex wasn't with no one else after. So if they were with someone else after, rebound relationship, after you, don't take them back. Never take an ex back if they were with someone else after you, because the relationship has been contaminated. They showed you not only that they are willing to let you go, they can actually get emotionally and physically involved with someone else. That's a huge red flag. And if someone have the emotional capacity to do this once, guess what, my friend? They will do it again. How I know? I took an ex back after she was with someone else. We broke up, she was in a rebound, and then I took her back, and then she stabbed me again, and it was so fucking painful the second time, you guys. It was, oof. Second time breakup, it crushes your heart. It crushes you completely. There is nothing left from you after the second time. And I'm happy that I went through these things because I am able to tell you now what not to do. Just what not to do. So instead of you making all of the mistakes in the book, listen to someone who made those mistakes and bring you the wisdom in a distilled form of this beautiful short video. Last but not least is no contact. You go no contact when your ex broke up with you, and it was a mild breakup, not too emotional stressing, wasn't that bad, and you can still see that it is solvable, and maybe your ex was softer with you when they broke up with you. So there is, yeah, these is just general rules, or if you will, of what to choose in each and every one of these scenarios. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, do the algorithm stuff so you can help me help more people. And if you need my help, feel free. The link in the description below. Check out my courses or book a one-on-one call with me. I love you, and I will see you again in the next one.